So with chapter 8, we really start to combine the mindfulness with the leadership, and we begin to look at leadership principles. And I found it interesting that the book talks about how all these companies have different leadership principles, but they're often very generic or really don't apply to the situation. They sound good in the boardroom, but in reality, there's very little impact in them. And as we look at our leadership principles and what guide us, hopefully we'll develop more or find or create leadership principles that have more of an impact, that are more based on mindfulness, more based on having an impact on the company, our lives, and so on. And I hope that's what you start to get out of this chapter, what you got out of this chapter, the idea that these principles are what guide us. They're who we are, and that's what those principles should stand for. They are something that I think most people are never really thought about or been asked. And I think it's easy to throw out the key, the type of buzzwords that everybody wants to hear. But when we really sit down and think about it, what are our leadership principles? What's important to us as a leader? And the whole purpose behind this, according to the book, is that these will carry us in times when we're put in places where it may be the heat of the moment, the pressure. Well, as long as we know what we are about, what our leadership principles are, what we believe, hopefully we will fall back onto our training and do the right thing. The book provides some examples of some instances where people didn't do the right thing, and as the book pointed out, it doesn't mean they were a bad person. It's just in the heat of the moment, pressure was on them, they made a bad decision. And hopefully with this type of training, if we are in that position, we can fall back on the mindfulness, that training that we've had, and actually make the right decision every time. And that's what I got out of this chapter, just the idea that being a leader isn't necessarily just these catchphrases that sound good and they look good on a logo, or they look good on a mission statement. It's more so what we believe, what our principles are, and what's going to guide us.